Hello everybody and welcome to today's Palmstreet Seller Tutorial. Today we'll be going over how to manage listings in the Seller Hub. So for those who don't know about the Seller Hub is a great tool if you want to be able to sit at your computer and work on different things with your shop instead of being on your mobile device. So most of the features found on the Seller Hub can also be found in the app, but there are a few exceptions. So if you want a more in-depth tour of the Seller Hub or any of the different features on it, be sure to check out any of our other Seller Hub tutorial videos. So in this tutorial today, we're going to be going over tips for your shop listings and then how to use the Seller Hub to manage your listing. So first, we're going to go over some best practices for your listings. So first off, when you create listings, make sure they have very professional images. Have good lighting in the images. You can get this by taking pictures outside on a nice day, using a lamp or a ring light with neutral lighting. You want to make sure the lighting is neutral because if the lighting is too warm colored or too cool toned, then the image is not going to look like the product that you're trying to sell. So make sure to avoid any overly warm or overly cool tones and try to keep it as neutral as possible. The background of your image is also going to be very important. Make sure that it's a very clean, professional background. You can get this done easily with some sort of plain bedsheet or curtain in the background of the product. However, you can also go outside or make things as professional or complicated as you want. So just make sure that your background is clean and that the images do not contrast too much. You don't want the images to be the same color. So like if you have a white item, don't put it in front of a white background. Make sure that the item that you are showing is the center focus of the listing, and that way people can view it very easily. So next, for high-end pieces, make sure to include a video of the item. That way, whenever you have the video, you can show all sides of the items, you can talk about a little bit, and buyers can get a really good idea of the type of product that you're selling. This just kind of helps get those high-end listings sold because all those questions that buyers would have about that high-end product is going to be answered in that little video that you have. And then make sure to include detailed descriptions of the product. How big is it? What color is it? Is there any fun facts about this item? Is there anything wrong with it? For plants, how fast does it grow? Be sure to include different things that is interesting and important to share in the description. And also make sure to include stuff that you might not think of being as super important or interesting to have in the description. Don't assume that just because the buyer is looking at the images, they're going to automatically have all those things thought out from the image that you would assume would be there. So make sure to have it in the description as well. And lastly, make sure to remove any outdated or sold listings. Have a very clean storefront. If an item is no longer able to be sold, remove it from your storefront. If it is already sold, make sure it's hidden. Only have what is available to be searched through in your actual store. You don't want buyers to be having to go through all your individual listings trying to sort through what you have actively available at the time. So next, we're going to go into the Seller Hub to learn how to manage some listings. Okay, to get to the Seller Hub, you're going to go to this website right here, seller.palmstreet.app. So whenever you get to this page, there's going to be two different ways for you to log in. The first way is going to be code, and the second way is going to be through your normal Palmstreet login. And this is going to be, you can either do your email, Apple, Google, or phone, and then it'll either have two-factor authorization code. However, a more convenient way is using the QR code. So when you go into the app, go into your profile and then go into settings, and in the top right-hand corner, there's going to be a QR code scanner. Make sure to scan the QR code. It'll confirm that you want to log in, and then you'll be logged right into the Seller Hub. When you first access the Seller Hub, you'll be in the My Orders page. For this tutorial, we'll be going into the My Listings page right below it. You can find the different pages in the Seller Hub on the left-hand side of the screen. So now that we're in the My Listings page, the first thing that you'll see is all the different listings that are available in your shop. And then you'll be able to see if they have visibility, are they private or are they public, and if they have variants. For those who don't know, visibility, private listings are listings that are going to be hidden from the public view. They're not going to appear on your profile at all, and no one's going to be able to purchase a listing unless you send the listing link to that person. This is great if you have items that you only want to be shown during a live show or purge and know people to be able to buy on a normal basis. And it's also good if you have a specific order for a specific person to purchase and you just want to be able to send that straight to them. It is, however, a little bit different than the invoice feature, so make sure to check out our video on invoicing for a little more information about that. And then the other thing here that we have that you can look at is the variants of the item. So for those who don't know, variants are a way to have multiple options of the same product. This could be different sizes, different colors of a product, and we're also going to go a little bit more detail in the variants in a different video. But you can think of these, if you have a t-shirt that you're selling different sizes of that t-shirt, each would be a different variant. And then on this page as well, you're going to see that you can look at the pricing that you have for the product. This item right here at the top has 3 different variants, so you can see that the pricing does change a little bit because you can change pricing depending on the variant. However, all these listings are in private mode just because for this specific tutorial, we don't want people to be able to purchase these test items. Now that you've seen a little bit about this page, let's go into different ways that you can edit. So the first thing is you can add orders. So let me move right behind where I'm at right here. You can see the new listing button. If you click here, you can create a new listing. Here, you can add an image. You can put in the title of the item. What type of item is this? Put the description. Remember, be as exact as possible and include even the little minor details that you wouldn't think is important. And for the image, just make sure it's a very clear, very professional looking image. And then you can put in the price, where it ships from, what the shipping rate is, how it's calculated, all that information. And then inventory, how many is going to be there. And then you can click on and off if this is a private listing. Once you have all that filled in, click create. So then once you have all the listings that you need, you can also edit your orders. So whenever you want to edit an order, click the order itself, and then that listing page will come right back up where you can see all the different information in detail about that listing. Click manage here at the bottom, and then you can edit it. And then right back here, you can see all the different edit things that you have available and update them as you need to. And then whenever you're finished, click update. Whenever you click on an individual listing, you can also see that you can delete the listing or mark it as public. So let's say it's a private listing, but then for whatever reason you want to mark it as public or vice versa. You can do that here. And then if you no longer need this listing, it no longer works for you, it's sold out, you don't have any more in stock and you don't plan to get any more in stock, you can go ahead and delete it as well. So then something else that's really cool about this page is we allow bulk editing and bulk deletion. So whenever you are looking at deleting an item or editing an item and you want to do it to multiple items at once, you can click this box right here in the top left of the screen. This box is going to automatically mark all the orders as needing to be edited. So once these are all clicked, you can come down here to the bottom, this little bar right down here. You can edit, you can mark them all as sold, or you can delete them all. Whenever you go to edit, you click there and you can see that the orders you can click through like this. So then you can quickly go through and edit what needs to be edited. And then whenever you're done editing all the items, you can just select update. However, if you don't want to edit everything at once, but you still have a handful of items you either need to delete, get rid of, remove, edit, all that, you can click individual items that you want to do and then edit it, mark it as sold, or delete it. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Palmstreet support in the app for help. And as always, make sure to comment any future video requests that you would like to see in the future.